Hello boys and girls, for this video we are going to focus on the vocabulary once again. Now we went over vocabulary last week regarding push and pull and different words that dealt with the magnets and motion and matter. But today we're going to go over them again, and we're also going to add some new words. So stay tuned. First up, we have the word magnet, an object that sticks to iron or steel. Next, we have push. You make things move away from you. Pushing is considered a force. So when we think about push, let's think about the possibly a swing. If any of you have ever been on a swing, you know that someone has to push you in order for you to swing, or you have to push yourself, starting with your feet. You would have to rock and push off with your feet, and then once you do that, you can use your body to maneuver through the air. That is what pushing is like. And so that is one force, and the other force is pull. Okay? Now, pulling is very simple. It can be described as when you make things move toward you. So pulling is a force. So in a thing like tug of war, we pull, two teams pull to see which team is stronger. Okay, that's a good example for pulling. Okay? Force, a push or a pull. Force can also be described as an influence tending to change the motion of a body or produce motion or stress in a stationary body or object. So what that means is force is what helps you move no matter what. If something is moving, there is some sort of force. Even if you look at a kite in the sky, there's a force that is keeping the kite in the sky. So long as something is moving, there is a force that is pushing or pulling. Magnetic force, the force produced by a magnetic field. So when you think about a magnetic field, it is the area around the magnet in which there is magnetic force. So there's a certain amount of space around the magnet that will be considered the magnetic field. And when an object that is metal is placed into that space, then you will see a force, you'll see a pull. Okay? Attract is to pull toward. Repel is to push away from. Magnetism is a force that attracts iron and steel. Gravity, a force that pulls objects towards each other. It is the force of gravity that pulls objects towards Earth's center. Model, an explanation or representation of an object, system, or process that cannot be easily studied. Balance is to be in a stable position. Magnetic field, an invisible field around a magnet. Evidence, data used to support claims. Evidence is based on observation and scientific data. So when you take data or you take observations in your notebook, you are basically gathering data that will help science. Change of motion, change in direction of movement. So think of a car doing a U-turn or a left turn or right turn, or if a car is in reverse and moving backwards, the motion is changing for some reason. And there's many things or many variables that play in that. Motion, the act of moving. Ramp, an object that has a slope. Slope, a surface that is higher on one end. So if you take a book and you lift one end and you keep the other end on the ground, you have just created a slope. Okay. Think of mountains and think of skiing and sledding. You need a slope in order to move downward. Wheel. An object that is a circle in only one direction and can fall over. Friction. A force between objects that are touching each other that opposes their motion, slowing them down. So friction is what slows objects down. So if an object touches the ground, there's an automatic creation of friction. Pattern of motion. The manner in which objects move due to their structure. Shaft. A long, thin structure that can be used as an axle or axis. Axle. A shaft that runs through the center of a wheel. So like I said earlier, when your parents have cars, you can look and there's an axle. I would advise you to ask your parents before you look, but there is an axle that connects them. You won't be able to see it from outside of the car, but that's what some auto mechanics work on when they have the cars up in the air at car shops. System. Two or more objects that work together in a meaningful way. And those are our vocabulary words for the first 2 weeks. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you learned some really cool words. And if you need anything, please contact your teachers. If you need help regarding your projects, please contact your teachers. Have a great day.